So, welcome to the Shrunken Terra bubble. I'm Ian.
And I'm Jake. I run the Shrunken Terra shop in Burgess Hill, so it's a shop and club when we're allowed to actually meet with people.
Burgess Hill, for those people who don't know, is in Sussex. It's been a tough year for gaming shops.
Just I think with obviously Games Workshop shutting down immediately from whenever that was in late March, early April, just all of their operations just ceasing. Mm-hmm. So couldn't even really get new stock in. So can deliver your stuff, but I'm running out of stuff.
Yeah, and obviously a big part of Shrunken Terra is the gaming club side of things.
But even though it's a shop, as far as tax purposes are concerned, that's an add-on to the community side. I mean, the way the Games Workshop used to be, just to constantly reference that, of it's where people can hang out, meet new people, play some games. It's the pub for geeks. That's basically what it is.
People don't buy stuff in shops anymore.
No, but if you're already there to do stuff, sure.
Yeah.
But just going there to buy stuff only and then leave. When I use Amazon too. I mean, eBay is a thing. I don't want either of those things to be as massive as they are, but I use them.
And then don't forget there's those pesky gaming
websites. The places we won't specifically mention.
That always offer a third off retail price.
It's an amazing deal that can't really be matched, but it can be, but not quite. I understand why they're there. I appreciate that they're there, but that's why we don't even cross heads at all if there's no lockdown, because here's a place you can play and then you can buy my wares.
If when this is all over, if anyone is in Sussex area, if you see this, then come to Shrunken Terra to play some Warhammer, because it's a good place to do it.
Yeah, just all sorts of games as well. I think quite a few other people didn't play board games and then realised that board games are really fun. Yeah. And then vice versa, if our Warhammer's way too involved, I remember it from school, but it's not as complicated as you remember.
This is our kind of first video of this format.
Yeah, just trying out going through some bits on community and...
becoming YouTubers.
Yeah, the tubers.
Tubers of you, giving this a go, even though we're both probably terrible at it. But...
Yeah, just all of my favourite, I don't even know what to call them, podcasters, YouTubers, content creators.
We're content creators, are we?
That they all suck, so... and then they get slightly worse, and then a little bit better.
Yeah, well, let's hope we suck.
Yeah.
So for our first video, we thought we're going to look at the Advent calendar, the Rumour Engine Advent calendar.
I suppose we'll start with day one. So it's usually a good place to start.
It's nice also to see that a shitload of models are coming out.
Yeah, and they don't all look like they're from the same thing, which is great. Just a good mix of 40k and Sigmar.
This one's quite obvious, isn't it?
Well, it seems Sister of Battle-like, but then I'm also leaning towards, because of the Fleur-de-Lis, I'm thinking that, but it could be some kind of Enforcer special character for Necromunda. It's everything needs to be naked to Necromunda's awesome.
Yes, it is, but as a Sisters of Battle player, I'm like, this is definitely Sisters of Battle. So it's got to be.
I think that even with the foot, with those three
I know, it's a bit
elevated
weird.
sections.
It's a bit weird, but I don't know. It kind of looks a bit like a bionic ankle. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like
it looks like she's got a bionic foot.
Just definitely the foot, maybe the whole leg with armor plates on there.
But yeah, I think that's Sisters of Battle. It looks like models I've already got.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Fleur-de-Lis wouldn't be a Necromunda, I don't think.
Or maybe it's just a stylized triangle or a 3-leaf clover.
But the question is, what is going to be released for Sisters of Battle? Because
that hasn't already been released.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're waiting for about 20 years and then they suddenly release everything.
Yeah. There's no more squads they have to do.
No.
They've done all the squads.
But you definitely know more than I, but I've seen most of them.
Yeah, the original range seems to have been done. Like, all the characters seem to have been done. Day 2. We both have pretty strong ideas of what this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards some kind of Imperial Guard adjunct now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Just I hadn't noticed just has classics like World War I stance of holding officers' stuff. I think for me it's the thick cuff that's making me think Valhallans as well.
Yeah, it does look like a Valhallan calf. Yeah, that is true. Are we going to see Valhalla?
Because that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I keep saying, just to anyone who'll listen, which is very few people, because I go on about it a lot, that Steel Legion will be coming back.
Yeah.
That the Armageddon campaign will be a thing, and Steel Legion have to be there, but I'm fine if it's Valhalla.
Yeah. Just all of the Imperial Guard regiments come back.
Yeah. Just Catachan are alright. The models are awful now.
They're so bad.
The command squad's cool. But even that's really old, and that's it. The others are rubbish. The arms don't line up. I have to cut the guard off the gun, kind of, to fit into a bicep or something.
The heads.
And then the Cadians look cool, but their world's gone, and their feet are bigger than Space Marine feet.
Yes.
So scaling is just...
And also, they are every Imperial Guard army.
Yeah, it's one where I know Games Workshop doesn't really care about the second-hand market overtly, but everyone's got those. Yes. If they don't want them anymore, you could probably just buy second-hand stuff and you could be buying forever. I mean, someone will list that every single day.
Yeah. So we're praying it's Valhalla.
Yeah, or any kind of henchman for Inquisitorial anything. Yeah. I want Auto Xenos, I don't care. Just any of them.
On to day 3. Where is day 3?
Just got it in the middle there.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, the dragon skull thing.
It made me think. I'm not going to call them that. Lizard men. I'm not saying Seraphon, but
they are lizard men.
They are the men that are lizards. But it's what looks like a brass loop or something that makes it seem like a piece of terrain, or maybe the arm of a throne or something for another one of the Triumph of St. Celestine.
I think that's a brass loop.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see where it loops back round to.
Yeah, fair point.
I wonder if it's a tooth.
Definitely just the one brass tooth, like a gangster lizard man.
The question is, we don't know if this thing is just like something that's alive.
I'm trying to work out from the grayscale that it looks like it was painted in enough different colours, and the eye is actually an eye.
Okay, so you think the eye
I think it's an actual thing.
Right. That's a good point. The eyes are painted. They're not just empty sockets.
But then it is Games Workshop, and they are also fans of their game, so they could be trolling us by having it painted in that way.
So, we think it's the Men of Lizards.
Yeah, they're just of some kind.
But is it going to be? Yeah, we just don't know what. Is it AOS? Is it?
They haven't released, I don't think, the rest of the models for the Underworlds Lizardman team. They've just seen the Chameleon, and that's it.
Okay, so it could be that. So we think maybe that's probably the best bet. I think
maybe a Star Priest or something.
We're not going to do AOS. We're going to do.
But the Underworlds and Warcry are the two games we're focusing on a lot more.
All right, on to day 4.
Well, it's Blind Atlas. Is my first thought.
It is, yes.
And you were saying earlier that you thought Slanesh of some kind.
I did when I first saw it. I thought Slanesh because of the creepy ass head with no eyes.
Yeah.
Kind of fits in with some of their more recent releases. I mean, it just looks like the things from Prometheus.
Yeah.
There's what they've ripped off here.
Yeah, it's a builder with no eyes.
Very unlike Games Workshop to rip off the alien.
I don't remember them ever doing that. We weren't talking about a guard regiment that was directly taken from that earlier at all.
or a whole race of space aliens.
No, that was a unique concept. But I'm thinking this is either a small piece of a larger terrain set, or a plinth or something for a mini that's going to be reading a massive book or something that's holding up.
But yeah, you're right. It does look like stone with those cracks in it. So we don't think that this guy is alive. No,
then GW don't really have golems or anything in their lore, so they could bring them in because golems are kind of cool.
Day 5. Where's 5?
I'm thinking Dark Elf Spear.
Dark Elf
Trident, yeah.
But
because Corsairs need more models then.
Yeah.
basically just that one leader with a
But
big look.
it's not going to be AOS Dark Elves, is it? It's going to be Underworld again, probably. It's going to be a warband of some sort.
Yeah. But I think with I can't remember what the 2 warbands were in the new Darkchasm. So there's some Slaneshi thing in there, and then it might be. I should have looked this up before we started. But I think it's dark. It might be Dark Elves. It definitely is in the Warcry set.
So yeah, that one's a bit undecided. I'm not sure, but it's going to be something elfy.
Yeah, just it's the swirls on the not quite a gem.
All right, number 6, day 6. Oh yeah, the wolf pelt.
That looks cool. Problem with wolves is it could be an Inquisitor's cloak. Could be something for Space Wolves, even though they have all the cool stuff already. It's not going to be.
It could be just a wolf pelt for
It could literally any faction. But
anyone. This one doesn't give anything away.
No.
It's like...
It died horribly I'm thinking maybe Warcry again, because it's died to some animal rather than been shot in the face. So fantasy of some kind. Yeah. But then it could have been a Tyrannid claw.
Well, you think this could be a gene stealer wearing a wolf pelt?
Yeah, maybe try and infiltrate the into AOS.
So yeah, I have just no idea. Anyone's guess.
Just a nice sculpt. I loads of the little details on a lot of these that I'm going to imagine people doing lots of conversions, especially with all the time on our hands.
Yep, that's true. All right, day 7. This is one of my favourite ones.
Oh yeah.
This one makes me excited because this, to me, has got Inquisitor all over it.
Yeah.
So I'll say that again. This, to me, has got Inquisitor all over it, or Inquisition even.
Yes.
This, to me, has got Inquisition all over it.
There you go. That was the first try.
Yeah.
I'm thinking pretty much the same thing, but more witch hunters for Sigmar. That just seems to have like fantasy elements with the nails.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. It's not Sigmar. Look, if you look down the bottom, it looks like that's going to go into like a power vent thing to me. That's what I'm hoping.
And my counter, just to crush your dreams, is that it goes into some kind of steam-powered thing.
No, it definitely doesn't. However, it does look a bit like something an Empire Battle Mage would have had in old fantasy.
Just like the old
look a bit like that.
Sigmarite priests.
Yeah. But no doubt. Put no doubt in my mind.
It's definitely 40k.
Inquisition, so I can bring my Inquisition force back with some brand new models.
Just every time they get really cool, they just stop doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. All right, number 8, day 8.
Another
day 8.
Foot.
Annoyingly not facing the front.
No,
it's
got some swirls, but every loop isn't a fleur-de-lis.
But this one, I will grant, looks AOS. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's just the more... now seeing the skull at the bottom of the calf, I'm thinking more 40k.
Really?
Yeah. Could be, it's the colour that I can't really tell that it's...
Yeah, to me it doesn't look like an armoured boot. It looks like...
Oh, I'm thinking it's a leather boot, but the leather's in 40k as well. Just especially Inquisitorial henchman style, where if they're really leaning into, well, we've got have a whole warband and multiple types of acolytes.
Yeah, that's true. However, we are forgetting one thing. Could be Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what teams don't exist already, but then they did just make up a completely new undead team.
Yeah,
because Halloween obviously needed its own team.
So everything could be Blood Bowl.
Yeah, just as a quick tangent, another one of those games that was released when no one had a chance of playing it. It's cool. Season 2 is that. I'll see you guys whenever over that.
So you have no ideas.
No, it's a foot. It's got a little skull on it. It's got enough detail that it could be for Sigmar or 40k.
Yeah, it could be a Sigmarine, but I don't know. It's got a skull on it, so probably not a Sigmarine.
No, it doesn't have enough of a halo around it.
Probably sound a bit more chaotic. Right, number 9. Yeah.
Yet again, could be Sigmar or 40k. Thinking more Sigmar because of the twine that's been used to.
Oh, the twine.
Yes, the twine.
I see. Yes, yeah, that's true. Again, it could be Inquisition.
Yeah, that's the problem with 40k. Just the Imperium is so primitive on purpose that
Yep.
it could be anything.
But
it's a cool looking flask though.
That's cool.
On to day 10. It's not much to say. It's a flask.
All right, day 10. Yeah. This one's called the Hand Impaled on a Bit of Wood. At first, I thought it was like a crossbow, but it doesn't look like that.
It's just a beam that's maybe attached to something larger that's got what looks kind of like a cog, like a part of one.
I don't see. Oh, cog?
It's still like cog shaped. It's not a functioning cog, but that sort of it's like a hexagon or hexagon.
So I think something below the hand. I think there's going to be something hanging.
Yeah.
Below, like a head or something, and then there's going to be some model in the middle of this over its shoulders or something.
Yeah, I think it's either that or it's a banner of some kind being held by, henchmen of chaos or something.
Number 11. Now this one. Now we're talking. Now we're talking like 40k era.
I'm thinking finally actually guardsmen's bikes. Just if the Gene Stealer Cult have stolen them from somewhere, why doesn't that faction have them?
Okay, I see it, but I don't know. Because with those Gene Stealer bikes, they look...
This looks more squat.
Yeah, this looks more orcs or
less
something.
suspension.
Yeah, it doesn't look like good enough to be Imperial Guard.
And then part of me is thinking that the upper left looks maybe like a material, so this
like
could be
leg?
a hilarious exactly.
It's a bit like a pirate with a peg leg.
It's like an ogren that's got a wheel instead of a leg.
That was my thought as well. Or like a uni leg. Rando.
So going on to
12.
Day 12.
12th day of Christmas. We got a
rat with a key.
Holding a key.
It looks cool. It's going to be tiny.
It's going to be the tiniest little bit of detail on a massive model.
It looks like the very bottom part is like a ledge or something.
Yeah, a step or something. Stone.
Where it could be some new Skaven model, which would also be cool.
Is it new Skaven? Because it's a rat. Or is it
it's got nothing to do with that. So here's a new Ossiarch model with a rat. Why would you do this?
But the rat is holding the key.
Yeah.
So...
I'm also thinking something like Underworlds again because of that. But Skaven already have a team, so...
Yeah. But why would a rat be holding the key? A semi-sentient little rat, so I'm holding out for brand new Skaven release.
Yeah, hopefully. Just another one of the many factions that doesn't get any love.
Yeah. Alright, number 13. Well, I wonder what this could be.
Well, that's... Even though I want to just shoot down your dreams again, that has to be Inquisition. It's quite literally got the symbol on it.
Yeah.
So we know it's a holster. We know it's at least some kind of character or advanced acolyte because the paint job they've given it, where it's got the detailed stitching.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just some flagellant or some loser that no one cares about.
So maybe, is it going to be brand new Inquisition models? Is it just going to be like a witch hunter kind of?
So I still hope it's Xenos, just Auto Xenos for some reason, because of the campaigns that they've been doing recently. It would make sense to go Pariah Nexus, and then whatever the one after that was called with the even though it's Auto Malleus and Hereticus, I suppose, with the Death Guard.
Had that new Inquisitor.
Which one was that?
One with the tiny dragon on her arm.
Oh yeah, the one that's with the Eldar, which I completely forget about because of that. But
so I think it's going to be henchmen. I think we're going to get a box of henchmen.
Be nice if it's just a really sweet, laden with loads of options for modularity.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can have your Malleus, I can have my Xenos. It doesn't really matter. Just here's a box of cool dudes.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
And then 14.
14. I'm going to say it again.
Inquisitorial henchmen.
Yeah, this is just the back.
This is one where I'm also kind of on your side of this, that it looks really similar to the Rogue Trader special dudes
it does
they
look
had.
like Rogue Trader with a little backpack, but then
With the vents kind of like the Gene Stealer Cobalt, the swirls on the shoulders, and it being a continuous onesie rather than shoulder pads is that special tech priest all over.
Oh, we have forgotten Necromunda.
Yeah, that'd be
Necromunda.
That's some kind of bounty hunter or hanger-on, or maybe a character, because we don't really know where they're going with it once they've. Depends when this is even going to come out. But once they finish the final two, which is Delac and Cawdor for the Necromunda books, where else are they going with this? That they've got the various guilds to do, because they've made, I think, one at Forge World, the Slaving Guild. That's it. So could be anything.
Yeah.
But it's definitely 40k. And I'm sure it will be released as Sigmar, because we've said the word definitely.
All right. What was that? 15.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You going to say it again?
No. I'm thinking this is fantasy era because of... Yeah, the scroll and the book just look a little bit more Sigmar fantasy.
Especially with that bit of cloth that's folding over, it just looks more tattered than 40k usually has. And they're normally either purposefully rubbish or it's blatant battle damage rather than that's just old. And
But what the hell? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is it like chaos?
Because we've got no reference points that it could be on a bit of terrain, it could be on another giant, it could just be on the waist of someone.
Yeah, it
could be on a mount. I mean, anything.
Yeah.
So then going on to 16.
Right at the top.
It's the glove that makes me think Sigmar.
The glove, yes, it does make me think Sigmar as well. The pointy
sort
glove.
Like classic fantasy novel kind of glove.
Yeah. But again, this one is... What has... It's hammers as a weapon.
It's Witch Hunter again. I'm thinking of Priest of Sigmar. But there's no Sigmarite anything on it, so...
Yeah, there'd be the comet on the hammer. And everywhere else.
Or, as another left field option, that could be Mordheim. If they're actually going to do something about it next year, because they've mentioned that it was coming back, along with the... I think it's Battlefleet Gothic, that's also apparently coming back at some point.
Next year. I mean, yeah, I suppose...
It could be.
Yeah, they've already had Blood Bowl this year, so... Next year they've got to release something.
Yeah, so. It's the big one that Warcry does not replace Mordheim at all, and Underworlds is a card game that has cool minis. Main reason I'm thinking if they've already been developing it for a while, because they wouldn't have mentioned it at all whenever they did a year or so ago, and because people are in lockdown, just like Necromunda, it's the perfect time to do unnecessary conversions, which is what Mordheim and Necromunda are for. That why have you got all those guns and hammers and rings and scrolls? Because I've got gear. Why not?
Yeah. All right, on to number 17.
It's a quick one for this, really, isn't it? It's a banner that I'm thinking undead, maybe Vampire Coast or something.
Yeah, a banner with nothing on it.
Yeah.
Unless there's something on the other side, but...
Of course there will be. Why would they show us that side?
Is it going to have a spear on the end of it? Is it, some sort of undead horseman? Perhaps.
Or it could be a regiment of renown that has no master or anything of the kind. Mordheim again. It could be.
When was the last time they released, skeleton...
Or just actual skeletons.
Yeah, actual undead skeleton.
It was a long time ago. And they don't really have vampires either anymore. No, so just to actually have the vampire counts. But that'd be great.
Because they've got Nagash and they've got the Osir.
Which is basically Nagash again.
Yeah.
Which is just Nagash again. With some special lieutenant that's running stuff, because Nagash is busy with the other faction he's got. Yeah. And then the Nighthaunt are basically the ghosts of Nagash. They've gone heavy on Nagash. So it'd be nice if it was just the Von Carsteins or something, and this is a banner for...
Like some cavalry.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, just some proper undead guys.
Especially with all the Total War stuff. There's people who are playing even more of just the Vampire Coast as a nice new faction, then the Von Carsteins are still there. So even people who don't remember Warhammer, that's a thing that people know about.
So it's definitely
It's definitely the vampire ghosts. It's going to be on top of a crab that's got a carcass of a ship on it. It's going to be the tiniest piece on a massive model.
All right, number 18. 40k.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, it's got the power thing.
I'd quite like for this to be also linked to Inquisition, actually, to have real Arbites rather than Stormtroopers, like they used to have in the whichever 3rd edition or 4th edition codex they had.
Yeah.
Where you could just have Stormtroopers or Arbites if you give them shotguns, or power mauls and shields. Because the Arbites are too important to go after Hive Scum, so they've got the Paladin Enforcers now in Necromunda, but Arbites are still a thing.
So Arbites on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I disagree slightly, though. I think this is a two-handed weapon, like a staff. Okay, it's definitely an Inquisitor.
It's definitely Imperial. Let's leave it at that. Obviously, everything is Imperial and Inquisition to you.
Yes, it is, because it's coming. Right, number 19. So now you said it.
Yeah, it's because of the glove. I'm going to stick with it. It's definitely Sigmar. But more time.
And you think this is a cool witch hunter guy with his repeated crossbow.
But I think they've just been showing us loads of the Witch Hunter Warband, and then eventually they'll have Nurgle Circus that will come in as well for that classic lineup.
Try and sell some more Nurgle models.
Yeah, because Nurgle hasn't had enough love at all.
Yeah, every single game it's like, oh, Nurgle.
So why are you playing Death Guard? Well, because they've got really cool models and 1,000 Sunsets, but pretty cool as well. What's happening to Khorne? That's not.
Yeah, well, we'll go to the Blackstone Fortress.
At least there.
Oh, Nurgle.
Of course. Why
wouldn't there be Khorne guards?
Oh, there are guardsmen. Actually, they're Nurgle zombies. Spoilers, but it's been out for a while. And then going to 20.
Number 20. Well, Sisters of Battle. Easy.
Yep, fleur-de-lis fencing. And
still don't know what they're going to be releasing for Sisters of Battle. I don't know if this is going to be a vehicle or if this is just going to be attached to that foot we saw earlier.
Yeah.
This is going to be a new character.
Because they're too recent for it to be an upgrade pack or something. Because why? Well,
exactly.
Like here's a box of backpacks, some new shoulders. They don't even have modular shoulder pads, do they?
No.
So just backpacks. No.
So I'm thinking this is going to be a character with this poking out the back.
Yeah.
It's going to be really ostentatious and crazy and too large for a person to be carried around in battle.
Clearly a diorama that's supposed to be on the battlefield.
So, done, sorted, on to the next one.
Right, so we got 21.
21.
Also,
what the hell is 21?
Top right. I'm also thinking Mordheim, just some kind of street scum. It just looks like a rogue stagger from D&D, which is the closest they've got.
I mean, it's true. Originally, I thought it was going to be elf because of the way the finger is across the blade, like some elfin guy would do, but then it's got a skull on it.
Yeah.
It's got a skull in the crossguard, so...
it's I'm just calling it, it's Mordheim.
22. Right. Like we called earlier.
It's a gargoyle in Mordheim.
No. This makes me think vampire counts again.
Let's maybe Strigoi actually coming back.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much removed that as a unit and made an entire faction of ghouls where their leaders are just Strigoi wannabes.
Yeah. So you think Strigoi?
Yeah. It doesn't quite have the right claw for it, but it's as good a guess as any pulled out of thin air.
Yeah. See, I think this is going to be a tiny little thing perching on the shoulder of something bigger.
Yeah.
That's my call.
So 23.
23.
My first thought before really seeing the shape was some kind of Necron.
Yeah, from the metal stuff in the top left.
But then thinking maybe Corsairs, like Dark Elf Corsairs.
Yeah, it does look a bit like Dark Elves, doesn't it?
But then the raggedy, the elves don't really have that kind of just ramshackle. Like if they're pirates, probably.
Yeah. That's the thing.
So don't know what kind of characters they haven't released for Necrons. Because they've obviously got their codex recently. Why would there be a new thing? That'd be annoying.
It's not Necrons, they don't have cloth.
No. Would they?
What do they
unless there's some kind of flayed one character. Because of the rules they've got for Crusade, that you can have various curses on characters.
Yeah, no.
But that's definitely the kind of thing that we're supposed to convert, rather than GW's going to make a model that only fits in one tiny thing.
See, I'm wondering again if they're making some sort of, I don't know, warband or something.
Yeah.
This is going to be part of that.
I'm thinking like a blue metal on the...
yeah, it's going to look
those
like
links.
fish scales or something, and it's going to be swirling around.
Just raggedy because it's been in salt water for ages, scuffing on reefs or whatever.
Yeah.
Last but not least is day 24, Christmas Eve. Baby Jesus is on his way, and it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, it just looks like Abraham's staff or something. It's Christmas related, I suppose, but as far as Games Workshop stuff goes, pretty weak. It's probably going to turn out to be awesome, but this image looks rubbish.
Yeah, for the last day of the Advent calendar, this is, a bit sad. Yeah, I mean, they don't show anything really. It's just a human hand holding a twig.
Don't forget the bit of turd that it's picked up on the edge there, like maybe stalactite if you're being generous, or just a bit of duty. It's just completely generic in every way. It's not even really much detail on the wood. Like even if the grain was done really well, it's like that Vestroyan rifle butts have more detail on.
Yeah, so he's hoping that this is part of some absolutely badass model and is not just some poor guy with a twig as a walking stick.
Like a Sigmar version of Fabius Bile, if they're going to stick with the Slanesh theme.
I mean, it's all about Slanesh at the moment, but yeah, this doesn't even... There's no way this could be Slanesh. I mean, you're not going to be a very good champion of Slanesh if you've, turn up with a twig with some poop on it. All the other guys have got like piercings all over their body, massive blades instead of arms and stuff.
It's like a poor version of Lucius the Eternal, where he's just so perfectly not fucked up. But he's just some guy who can experience all the sensation from holding a stick. That's how sensationalist he is. Yeah, that's the best we can hope for.
Yep.
Aside from more time.
Future looks bright for model releases, not for our wallets.
No, which is it's a bad time for that, really, as well.
But at least there's something to look forward to in 2021.
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
I hope it sucked just enough.
Yeah, it just needs to be that baseline of awful,
Yeah.
so that we can only possibly get better, because it's subterranean in how bad it is right now.
Yeah. Right. End.